Welcome back to the human condition. If you're new to the show, we've covered what it is that forms our reality through metaphor. The human condition is universal and can apply to any mechanical system. If you want a better idea of what I mean, check out whichever episode resonates, or better yet, the one that lines up with your current bottleneck. Today we dive into Component 6. And if you've been following along, congratulations, you now have power supply, logical thoughts, rendering emotional landscapes, short-term memory optimization, and long-term storage where memories are written in code and some are corrupted files. But now, you're officially a functioning system on the edge of overheating. See, the funny thing about all this is I didn't plan for this part to come after RAM and storage just because it made sense. It kind of just happened. Like life decided to slap me with my own blueprint. It's in writing this today, I see the irony in it all and have to stop and laugh at myself. Sometimes we're writing our own code before we even realize it, and it struck me while I was in the middle of figuring out how to hold thoughts, RAM, and hold identity, storage. My nervous system was like, cool, but hey, Chief, we're melting. And that's when I realized, you can have all the right components, but if you don't know how to regulate, even the most powerful system can and will crash without the proper cooling. Sometimes dramatically, sometimes silently, but always eventually. So welcome to the cooling system, the unsung hero of high-performance living. The fans, the airflow, the regulation, the part of you that decides whether all this intensity gets expressed or explodes. Let's talk about how you handle heat. Component 6, cooling system regulation. How you handle heat. Every powerful system generates heat. Whether it's a gaming PC pushing frames, or a human navigating grief, joy, pressure, or intensity, energy creates friction. That's why PCs have cooling systems. And that's why humans need regulation. Regulation is your internal fan system. It's what keeps you from overheating, locking up, or melting down. In a computer, poor cooling equals thermal throttling. Your system slows itself down to avoid permanent damage. In a human, poor regulation equals emotional shutdown, burnout, or rage. Your mind and body go into self-preservation mode. When you run hot, you snap at people for small things. You feel wired but exhausted. You cry without knowing why. You lose your words mid-sentence. You can't focus, can't sleep, can't stop pacing. Or you completely shut down and go numb. That's your system trying to prevent a crash. That's survival mode. And it's not weakness. It's your nervous system doing its job. What regulates a human cooling system? Not everyone has the same fan setup. Some of us grew up without emotional air conditioning, so we had to learn how to cool ourselves down from scratch. Here's what helps. Breathwork, your internal airflow system. Movement discharges static and kinetic energy. Touch and texture, fidget tools, blankets, pressure. Water, cold showers, hydration baths. Sound, calming music, white noise, even silence. Nature, Earth is the most grounded motherboard available. Presence from safe people, co-regulation through resonance. Misregulation looks like always busy, distracted to avoid stillness. Always tired, no system reset. Always triggered, no buffer zone between input and response. High sensitivity or complete desensitization. Feeling like everything is too much or nothing gets through. If your system can't regulate heat, everything feels hostile. Even joy becomes overwhelming. Core truth of Component 6. You don't need to fix your emotions. You need to cool them down so they can process. Regulation isn't suppression. It's temperature management. It's the difference between meltdown and masterpiece. So that's Component 6, your cooling system. Regulation isn't flashy. It's not a grind or a badge of honor. It's what keeps everything else running. When life turns up the heat, don't shame yourself for slowing down. That's not failure. That's wisdom. Just like a PC needs airflow to push performance, you need space, stillness, and breath to carry your power. And if no one ever taught you how to regulate, it's okay. You can still learn. You already are. Because you're here, paying attention. And that's where the cooling starts. See you in Component 7.